And the news has come out that Chris Jericho has returned home. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Dr. Wagner Jr. and almost the man who I've always said is almost a wrestler.
What could he have possibly done for the WWE? This is taking one of your top talents. This is the future of your women's division, and you almost ended it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to rumble. Welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McMahon with you here on the chat. And we're going to do that. We're going to chat about a couple of different things. And with this program, like I said, it's kind of evolved now. It's no longer just wrestling, although that'll always be a part of it. We are going to be covering multiple topics, including what's happening in the world of gaming. Game On will still exist, but that will be only actual gameplay stuff going on. And I'm either this week, if not this week, definitely next week, there will be at least one a week episode of that. Don't have set schedules. That's why I always tell everybody, make sure you hit the little bell reminder so that you know when we're going live. And if you can jump in there, it's always better with people in the house. All right. That all said, lots of stuff been going on lately. I just kind of shake my head at it and whatever. Let's see. Which order do I want to go in here? Let's start with PlayStation. Give some people time to join in for the other stuff. So far as Sony and PlayStation, they're done. They are so done. They're just too stupid to know it yet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you time to crawl out from under the rock you've been under. And PlayStation made a big announcement about 3 or 4 days ago that as of January 1st, 2028, they will no longer be offering physical media to people buying their games. That's right. You will own nothing and you will like it. You will get digital codes. Now, a lot of people out there already buy things digitally. I've talked about it here on this channel plenty of times in the past. When it comes to certain games, like even the WWE franchise games that I've got for the last several years, I've gotten them digitally because I can get them right at midnight without having to wait and just pop it on and do my live streams. But then at the end of the cycle, I'll go and buy a physical copy of it as well to have as backup. And the reason is because we've known this for a lot of years now. Nothing digital is yours. You do not own anything. It's all there. You signed away your rights when you agreed to having the PlayStation account. It's all in the writing. All you are doing is leasing the license that they've acquired. And they've acquired it for a period of time. That time expires. Once it expires, they no longer have the rights to it. Hence, you don't have the rights to it. Now, if you have a physical disc, they can't do that to you. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, it's already on my PlayStation 5. You're right. It is. They can't touch it. Well, what happens when something happens to your PlayStation 5? I'm in Florida. Lightning strikes are not uncommon. People lose a lot of electronics every year. Go out, get a new PlayStation 5. You can't download the game again. Now, right now, you can still go on eBay, get a used copy of it, maybe go to the thrift store and find one. But as of January 2028, everything that comes out, that's not an option anymore. There was a one-time code that you purchase for one unit under one person's sign-on, and that's it. No more sharing. No more selling it after you've played it to get some of your money back to put that towards the next game. That's all gone. Sony has received enormous numbers of people canceling their PSN membership, myself included. Now, I was leaving anyway because I saw the writing on the wall when I heard about the PS6 and the incredible costs that would be involved in it, but they can't even release it because they know they can't sell it for that price and they can't make it any less. So it's kind of like what 2K's been doing. We're losing a big part of our audience, so we're going to make the rest of you pay for that. And that's exactly what Sony's trying to do. It is going to backfire magnificently, and they are going to go the way of TWA. Okay? All these massive companies that people say, oh, they can't go. They're too big. They're too big. Huge companies are gone. That used to be too big. End of the day, you don't treat people right, they don't give you money. That's how it works. PlayStation's about to find out. 2K's going to find out much sooner. They're going to find out in about 6.5 to 7 months when all of a sudden their fan base does not come back from this year. They're going to be down 60%. I'm telling you right now. They're going to be down 60% in pre-order alone. The only thing that might help them get a little bit back, they're not going to recoup. They're not going to recoup. The only thing that might get them a little bit back is if somehow, and we have a track record that says it's not going to happen, if somehow they put out a game that 40% still going out there and buying it, say, hey, they actually got it right this time. Look, everything's working. Universe is working. GM's working. Online, no problems. That's what they would have to do for a period of probably 30 to 60 days to get maybe 25% of that 60 back. At the end of the day, they're going, and we know they're not going to put that out, right? Because they just don't. They don't test their games until it comes out to us, and we pay the $150 for the privilege of testing the game. So it's going to be another dumpster fire. We already know that. they are just going to lose their ass. Absolutely in the hole where it belongs. And with any luck, I would say maybe EA will come along and get it the year after. Well, now there's no physical media, so I'm out. That's all there is to it. I'm not dealing with that shit. And I'm not going to even have the account soon anyway. As of November, mine runs out in November. So it's already been canceled. I'm done with them. The games that you get free every month, they've been sucking. Matter of fact, I don't even know what this month's games are. That's how good they are. Haven't even heard about them. Don't know what they are. Guarantee you they probably shit. Oh, Ken Rogers is in the house. Welcome aboard. My boy McCoy. J-Rocks. What's up, buddy? I get your point. The days of physical media are over. I saw this come. Yeah, dude, me too. If you remember back, I think it was like 4 years ago now. Time flies. And it was Sony again on the PlayStation. If you had bought National Geographic's TV series, and I'm not sure if it was a specific subject matter or if it was just the National Geographic season 1, 2, or whatever it was, but anyone who bought that, for those 3 people out there that might have bought that out of interest, they lost the rights to it, and all of a sudden they can't watch the stuff that they paid for. Now, if you're just going to watch something one time and you're just going to pay the $4 or a $6 rental fee, all right, whatever. You're only watching it once and you'd pay that much and more just to go to see it in a movie theater. So from that standpoint, fine. But if you always get that option. Do you want to rent it or do you want to buy it? The word is B-U-Y, buy it. Now, when I go to Walmart and I B-U-Y something, I take it home with me. And I keep it for as long as I want. And I can turn around and sell it. I've got a whole bunch of DJ stuff I am now going to sell. I don't use it anymore. But if we were running the Sony playbook, I wouldn't be able to because that equipment only can be used by me and no one else. Oh, and by the way, they could determine one day, oh, by the way, that equipment's all gone now because we're not paying the rights to it anymore. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to physical media, I got tons of it. Probably more than I should have. One of these days, I will do a little tour of the studio here just so you guys get an idea what... and there's so much of it. Here's the thing, and I've heard other YouTubers saying the same thing that I've been thinking. I don't need it anymore. I don't have a need for it. There are more... And that's for everybody, really. Because let them go belly up. Who gives a shit? There is so much physical media out there. Good games, going back to the PS2, PS3, PS4. There's good stuff out there. And quite honestly, you don't have enough hours in your life to play it all. So you're covered. I got so many games that I've never even put in. I bought a PS1 off a guy, and it does work, but the PS1s are all finicky at this point in their life because they had the black discs. If you know, you know. And... almost every one of them, if it hasn't already been done, you have to replace the laser eye, which is actually pretty simple in the PS1. So I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I have an unopened copy of the PlayStation 1 Spawn game that I just never got around to. And I've been wanting to lately, now that I've had some extra time. And I was like, you know what? I always wondered what that game was like. So there's plenty of stuff out there. Sony can go shove it up their ass. They're going to hemorrhage, absolutely hemorrhage subscribers. They've already begun, and they're feeling it. As a matter of fact, if you were to call to cancel today, calling in person, most people do it quiet, like me. Just go onto your account, done. And then when your due date comes up, you're out. But if you call them and say, hey, I'm canceling my account when's it up for renewal, I'm done. They're going to offer you a 50% discount to stay on. Many people are sharing this story. The minute you call them and tell them you're out, they're offering 50%. There's no way in hell Sony ever offers that until now. They never had to. They were the only real game in town. Pardon the pun. They are feeling it. So if you are insistent on keeping it, which is, of course, your prerogative, I'd call them up and tell them you're canceling. You can, let's put it this way. If you're not due for another 3, 4, or 5 months, whenever your renewal is, you're still there for the next 3, 4, or 5 months. They're not going to cancel you on the spot and disconnect you. So the worst case scenario is you wait a week and then just change your mind, and you're fine. But the reality is you're probably going to save 50%. So I would give it a shot if you're planning on sticking with Sony and PlayStation. I'd call them, tell them you're out, and see if they don't offer you a little something to stay. Might be the only satisfaction you will ever get at this point in time from Sony. Oh, and Blaze, let me tell you something. What you think might be worthless, you might want to go check that out, because holy cow. Some of these things, and it's not just PlayStation games. We're talking about DVDs and Blu-rays. There are some Blu-rays that, like Free Willy, if you have it on Blu-ray, it's selling for over $100 on eBay used. What? I don't get it, but hey, there's a bunch of videos out there now. The same, Free Willy on DVD, $10, but the Blu-ray, and there's a bunch of them like that. So don't presume what you got is junk until you look it up on eBay, because you might find out you're sitting on some buried treasure. Smooth says, all those people that used to criticize me for owning a PC, I always had an option to back up my games or use emulation. What about them? Walk me through it a little bit, though. So you, let's say, buy WWE 2K26. You're getting it digitally. Are you able to... I saw a video of a guy saying that he's made physical copies of all of his Steam games, and he did a real nice job, box art, the whole 9 yards, and the little jewel cases, and he put the professional looking headers in there, the page and the back cover as well, put labels on the disc that look official. And I'm just trying to figure, and he can basically take that disc, put it in his PC, and start playing the game almost the same way that you would with a PS5. Not quite. There was a couple of steps, but not much. So I'm trying to figure that part out. If you bought something on your PC, you can save it to, let's say, MediaFire. That's where I put some of my backup stuff that I want to make sure, in case the computer goes down, I still have it somewhere else. So you could save that to MediaFire and have the game itself, right? Because I've never been a PC gamer, and I don't see that changing even in light of this. I'll just stick with what I got, and that's it. I'm done. Speaking of which, at 5 o'clock today, if you haven't already seen the little bumper I put out there earlier today, we're going to have a premiere for those of you who've been around a long time, you've probably seen the original video that launched this channel called Invasion Zen, where Samoa Joe comes out during Monday Night Raw and yada, yada, yada. I've always wanted to kind of redo it more modernized, because, the quality of the video was from 2004 VHS. So, it's not real good. It's actually really bad. And the audio was bad, and I wasn't doing voiceover work back then, so I was splicing in like Mike Tenay, but why would Mike Tenay be on Monday Night Raw? But that's where I had to get the Samoa Joe quotes. And anyway, we have reimagined it. And at 5 o'clock, the premiere will take place. It's only a 7-minute watch. And this is the way I kind of envisioned it. By the way, if you think you know, you don't know, because while 90% of it is pretty much going to run the same, not 100%. Not 100%. So this is a project that's been in my mind for a long time now, and somebody recently had commented on that video, and it just triggered me, and I was like, yeah, I got to finish this up. And I already had a lot of clips ready, and I just hadn't put them all together. And then earlier today, I was like, I got time. Threw them all together, did my editing, and I'm happy with the way it looks now. It's going to be much cleaner and altogether a better story. So 5 o'clock today, I'll be back here. Join me if you can. I got an eBay page, and I searched all of my media. Yes, some are worth a little bit, but I don't have anything super rare. Yeah, boom boxes. I'm telling you, it's amazing the shit that actually sells for money. I'm sometimes I'm just absolutely stunned. I was just watching another guy who goes to the Goodwills, and he's picking up these little aluminum tin, what do you call them? Molds for cakes of Elmo from Sesame Street for like $2 or $3. I'm like, okay, well, what's that worth? $10? Oh, I sell these for $35 all the time. Well, $35 for a freaking cake pan? Holy shit. Would I have ever thought that? Not in a million years. But I'm telling you, digital media is going to start going back up again. Even games. The games that right now are maybe $5 or $6 used, they're going to go up. They might not go to $50 or $60, but people are starting to not like not having their stuff. And then I look at these people that own game stores right now, and they got to be losing their shit. Because I don't know how long. I think initially they're going to actually get a bump. I think they're going to go and find that there's more out there in the sense that people are going to come in wanting this and wanting that. But I don't know how long that's going to last. And then the only thing it'll really take for that to go away is for another company to come along and make physical media. Everything comes around in cycles. I have no doubt it'll come back. I wouldn't be shocked. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow if it were to happen. And I would say there's only about a 25% chance of it happening. But I wouldn't be shocked if PlayStation goes back on their word and says, never mind. What was that Gilda Radner on Saturday Night Live back in the day? Never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no. Already GTA 6 is feeling it. They've had a number, I mean like a sizable number, a measurable number of people canceling their pre-orders. Now, that's in part because of what Sony did, but at the same time, GTA 6 was already doing it anyway before Sony made any announcement. They're already not giving you a physical copy. And then this whole thing about the physical copy is delayed until December 19th is not true. The only thing that you're getting physically is a damn box, and inside the box is a code. There's no disc. So, yeah, I mean, keep on screwing around with the people that are putting money in your pocket and just see how long that lasts and how good a business plan that is. As far as business models go, I don't think that's going to be a successful one. But, hey, you do you, honey. You do you. I'm a man of principles. I hope so. I try to be. You stopped making 2K videos because of it. Yep. With Sony's recent, I don't give a fuck movies, how much longer will you be able to last? I'll be able to last a long time because I got more shit on DVD and Blu-ray that I haven't even seen. I mean, I'm good to go. And then I got my own personal collection of stuff going back to every wrestling organization in the time. Well, I got the Mid-South stuff that I've kind of wanted to get back into watching that again. It's been a long, long time. I've got more stuff than I've got years left on me. So I'm not worried about it, and it's why I'm feeling very good and very comfortable about telling them to go shove it up their ass. The only thing that's going to affect me at the end of the day is with a PS5, you can only back up your shit on the cloud that they provide. So if anything, God forbid, happens to my beautiful PS5 and it can't be saved, the memory even, I'm screwed for all my PS5 games. Now, my PS4s, they're all safe. I've got them where I can back them up on thumb drives all day long. Matter of fact, I'll have to do that before November just to be sure. Yeah, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. But then I look at it right now, there's only like 3 games that I play a lot. And there's a few others that I like playing, and I'd like to go back and play them again. And I think to myself, what if their save file was gone? Just can't get it back. I like them enough where I just start over and play them from the beginning. And I can do that because I have the physical media. And that's the other thing, too. You know, what happened to the days where we took a disc, we bought one, we got it home, put it in the machine, and started playing. Now it doesn't work that way. You get it home, put it in the machine. You have to connect to the internet. You have to have a 2K account. You have to. Since when? Why do I have to give you my email address? Why do I? Fuck you. For what? For the first 4 months, I couldn't get into community creations. Then I just happened by dumb luck to find out that a group that I'm a part of has a developer from the other 2K franchise, and he makes one quick message on his computer to one of the developers over in 2K, WWE, and 5 minutes later, I'm able to get in community creations. But for 4 months, you bitches couldn't do shit. You want me to give up my information to you, you sons of bitches? Fuck off. So many bangers yet. Yep. And that's where I'm at. I got plenty of shit to do. I'm not losing a minute's sleep over it. I will take great pleasure in watching the building burn down. People are going to lose jobs. Well, look what just happened with Microsoft. Over 5,000 of those game developers gone. Red Dead 2 was a great game. And even that, there's another one. I've got it all played. I can jump in now and just kind of go through the towns if I want to rob something or whatever. I haven't even fired it up in probably close to a year. If I had to start from scratch, I'd do it again. It was a great story. It was a fun experience. And it's been so long now, I probably forgot 85% of it. That's the great thing about getting old, man. As the memory starts to slip, you can watch a movie for the first time again. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great, great game. You will have a good time with that. I'm not a big fan of their multiplayer, and apparently not too many people are because it's not much happening with it, and it sounds like it's kind of on life support right now. All right, we're going to shift gears here on the chat and start talking about some of the wrestling that we talk about on Wrestle Chat. We'll start with the big story, I guess. How's that? We have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. As the title to the video says, same shit, different day. CM Punk. Now, I don't want to be the guy who says, I told you so, but I told you so. I said Sami Zayn is going to have a shorter title reign than the Iron Sheik. Even I didn't think it was going to be this short. 8 whopping days. Deserved. And I knew I thought he was going to lose it at Saturday night's main event. I really did. But I knew he was losing it quick because you see pictures of him driving around in his car and it's sitting in the passenger seat and he's at a restaurant and it's sitting on the table across from him. I said, these are the actions of a man who knows he ain't going to have it very long, so take all the pictures you can while you can. CM Punk's got it back in the refrigerator 15 years later. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Smooth, I'm the same way, man. I don't just put anything out there. It's got to be something that, you know, there's a couple I bought that I was like, probably not my best buy. RoboCop being one of them. But for the most part, everything I've got, it's like the Uncharted series. Oh, I could play those over and over again. Friggin' amazing games. Amazing games.
That's what she said.
Not sure what we were using that one for, Smooth, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, yeah. CM Punk wins the title. Sammy holds it for a whopping 8 days. That's 8 days more than he should have had it, in my opinion. Why? If you're going to do all that shit, why not just have Cody maintain the title in Saudi and then let him drop it to Punk and start their feud up here in Chicago? Why doesn't that make more sense? You know, you're going to have your trilogy or whatever you're going to try and do with it. There was just no point in putting it on Sami Zayn at all. But whatever. I mean, the WWE is a dumpster fire at this point in time. It really is. Jay and I were discussing earlier on something about the lack of focus in the WWE. I know, shocker, right? They've got, and again, I'm not sure who this guy is, even though I watch AAA. You got to be on there a couple of times before I really know who you are. A guy named Bronco over in AAA, and he's in one faction, but then on NXT, he's doing something totally different. And that made me think of Carmen Petrov. What's her name again? Hold on. Another one of these people that I haven't had enough time to get to know, but I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't she just on AAA doing something completely different? Whatever her name is now, I don't even know. I think it's Carmen or Nikita Petrov. Something Petrov. Anyway, she's doing one faction over in AAA, and then she's in a completely different faction over in NXT. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? It's like, isn't that the girl that's over here doing this? And I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. The CM Punk Sammy match was a good match. It was a good match. Anyone that thought CM Punk was not walking out the door of that building with the title is kidding themselves. And anyone who didn't know in the first 10 minutes of the program, I saw on the highlight clip how Gunther came out there and beat down Cody Rhodes and slammed him in the car and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, here we go. Cody can't wrestle now. Gee, I wonder in Chicago, who will it be? Shocker. I did like the entrance they gave him with the garage door rolling up, and he's wearing pink boots at first, so that threw you for a moment maybe. He's done the Bret Hart gear in the past. But, man, think of the pop if it would have been Lesnar. Because to the point, and I think it was James Romero and Stevie were talking about it, everyone in the building knows it's going to be CM Punk. So what if it's not? This is what the WWE can't do. They just can't do it. You give the belt to Lesnar in his last months. He carries it into SummerSlam against Oba. You put over Oba. Your new guy, your young upcoming talent that's over, gets catapulted. But no, let's go with the 45-year-old guys that we're all tired of seeing that got gray beards. Fuck. That's why I don't watch it. I can't watch it. I just can't. Let's talk about something good. NXT 5-star match this past Tuesday. Which match am I talking about? Kendall Gray going up against Natty for the NXT Women's Championship. I am all on Team Kendall, man. That girl is amazing, and she's so young in the game. She is picking shit up quick. Her moves are silky smooth. The only thing is, now, if you haven't seen the match with her and Natty, I'm telling you, it's a 5-star. I wish it could have had 10 more minutes, and they gave it almost 20. But honestly, that could easily go 40 minutes, those two. It was wrestling. Real wrestling, the way it's supposed to be, the way it's supposed to look. There's one moment where Kendall does a spinning back elbow, and damn, I thought she clocked her in the head with that damn thing. It looked good. It sounded good. She ain't got no business looking that good at that point in her career. She doesn't have enough reps under her belt to look that good, and yet she does. That was a fantastic match. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. You will not be disappointed. I can promise you that. WWE decisions are nonsensical now, especially with AAA and NXT. I don't know. AAA has been the one thing that's held me together with WWE. I've been real happy with AAA because WWE really doesn't touch it. They just leave it to, Taker and whoever else is in there doing the booking. I think Ray probably does have a hand in it now, not just the figurehead part of it. I think he's actually really calling balls and strikes a little bit. And WWE, you know, the guys in Vegas don't give a shit about that. They only care about SummerSlam. Fuck AAA. Fuck AAA. Do what you want. Go ahead. Do it. Have fun. Well, he says, I remember that was the AEW complaints a few years ago. Too many old people, too many... Yeah, and it was. And I was saying it too, right? I'm saying it again now. I'm not saying you don't have any. You need veterans. You need leadership. You need somebody who's going to teach the younger people, the next generation, to get them prepared for what's coming. I get that, and I support that. But right now, if you were to look at their roster... maybe 20, 25% of it are people that I would say are past their sale date. You know, they're all this news about Sheamus is out of the WWE. He should have been out 5 years ago. And it's nothing against the guy. I think he's a great guy. I watch his videos and his workouts and stuff. I don't do the workouts as much as I should, but I watch the videos. And he's a cool dude. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with him. But for fuck's sake, you've been around 19 years in the same damn show. I love Tom Cruise movies. I don't want to see them on loop for 15 years. And now what are you going to do? I mean, look, he's going to probably go for money is my guess. AEW makes sense. They're going to use you for 3 months and then you'll be, you know, collecting paychecks to do nothing. Which, you know, I guess kudos if you can get that job, right? If I were his agent, I'm probably, well, depending. Again, I have not heard officially. Is Road Dogg the guy in charge of booking in Impact or TNA today? Is he the guy? There was a lot of talk, but I have not heard anything concrete saying he's the guy doing it. If he were, then I would say, you know what, Impact's not a bad option then. Or MLW. There's no, the only reason you go from WWE, and this is why it makes sense for him to AEW, is the money. And he doesn't have that many years left. He's starting to get injured a little bit more frequently now, which happens to all of us as we get older. Shoulders have been fucking pissing me off lately. But, yeah, if they're willing to pay you that kind of money, MLW doesn't have that money. Impact doesn't really have that money. Then take the money. I don't blame you, especially at your age. He's like 45 years old. It's time. Tap out. But if you want to have a legitimate run of some sort, if you want to, you know, be somewhere where they can do something with you, I would say MLW be your best bet. That's just me. By the way, I'm really upset right now, man. I had, and some of you might remember, you see me wear these sunglasses that look like the Rockers sunglasses from back in the day with the triangular cuts and all that. Fuck if I can find the damn things. Because when I have this light on here, it makes it hard for me to see the screen with that thing blasting me in the eyes. I got these over here, which are good for taking out the blue, which I highly recommend these. Oh, my goodness. If I'm gaming or if I'm doing video editing and I'm wearing these, I feel great when I'm done. If I'm not, about 20 minutes in, I'm falling asleep. My eyes are heavy. They make a big difference. That said, where the hell are my rocker sunglasses? And it's the only place it's been is in this room, and I have checked everywhere. I'll find them someday when I'm not looking, I guess. Yeah, but the old guys thing, that's got to stop, man. And it's not even old. It's the same old. It's Roman again. It's CM Punk again. Cody again. And I love Cody. But he had his run. It is time for him not to be the world champion. That's why Brock's the right guy. Lesnar hasn't held the world title in a couple of years now. Put it on him to SummerSlam. Oba takes it. Now you've got your new powerhouse, destroyer of all worlds, and he's your world champion. What have I always said about TNA? What's wrong with TNA? They had Mike Santana as the champion. Blech. Now, at least we got Nick Nemeth back with the belt again. He's older, and he's undersized. The older part's probably the bigger issue. I mean, look, Shawn Michaels was undersized too, and I thought he did pretty damn good. You hear some of these documentaries where the other wrestlers are saying he never sold a ticket. I don't know. The arenas looked pretty full when I was watching them. And that's counting the ones that I went to live, so it's not a matter of everybody who's sitting across from the hard cam. Smooth, you and I are going to disagree. That girl's not overrated at all. Did you watch that match with her, Natty? Tell me she's overrated. This is a legit look. I love Roxanne too. I do. And this is what I'm talking about. These are the people they need to be moved. And you don't want to jump too soon either. Okay. There's questions as to whether maybe they pulled the trigger too quickly on Tiffany. Tiffany's really good. She really is. Mentally, it's hard to tell, like the stuff she had going on with Charlotte back, a while back there, where she was making some moves live on air that you just don't do that kind of shit. So she might not have been mentally clued in all the way, and maybe her ego's a little too bloated with the quick success. But generally speaking, I think her matches look pretty damn good. All the people giving Sol Ruka shit. The girl's got some incredible moves, and you're going to have some botches when you do moves like that. And for all these internet trolls that I see, she's got to come up with a different finisher. Different finisher? No. That's what got her where she's at. Are you kidding? That's an amazing finisher. It's like the RKO. She can pull this shit out of... finding new ways to execute it is half the fun of watching her matches. So is she going to slip on a rope once in a while? Of course she's going to. And oh well, shit happens. It ain't ballet. Sheamus can still go, but do you want to see him? I've always found him boring as hell, going back to FCW. I remember when he had his feud with John Cena, and Cena called him a big glass of mayonnaise. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way I felt, fella. Yeah, fella. You know what's going to happen. The only time I got a little bit interested in him was when he braided the beard like Jack Sparrow with the little beads in it and shit. And everybody was like, you look stupid. And I was like, maybe he does, but there's something about it I like. That was the one point in time where I was kind of into Sheamus a little bit. I don't know why that... and it's amazing to me because I studied that just with me and how that small detail change flipped a switch where, okay, I can kind of get into watching this dude now. He looks different. With that subtle little change, he looks different. You think about the Ringmaster versus Stone Cold, right? There's a lot of changes there, okay? You go from that drab green trunks to the all-black outfit with the skulls on the vest, shaved his head bald. He made a lot of changes. Sheamus just braided his damn beard. And I'm telling you, for whatever reason, that just resonated. Yeah, you have the same ones, don't you, Mr. McCoy? You've got the same sunglasses, I believe. I think we've had this conversation. Well, if I can't find mine, just don't be surprised if yours turn up missing. Tony Storm's an anomaly. You show me one person that AEW, whether they signed them themselves or took from the WWE cast-outs, other than Tony Storm, take her off the books. Name one person that under their umbrella reinvented themselves and became much better than they were under the WWE umbrella. Name one, I'll give you some time. I don't think you'll come up with a name because I ain't seen it. Ken Rogers is there with me, man. That Kendall and Natty match was good. It was a great wrestling match, the way wrestling's supposed to be. Outstanding grappling, counter holds. It was great. Smooth, I'm going to disagree with you again. Let's go with who are great wrestlers. I mean, again, with Kendall, we're talking about a legitimate amateur wrestling phenom, okay? Like a Kurt Angle. She didn't necessarily win a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, but you get the idea. She's very highly trained in real wrestling. You got Nikita Lyons, who's got a martial arts background, strong martial arts background from a very young age. And, Jay was asking me, he just saw clips of her on NXT from the other night, and I guess he hadn't seen her in a while. Said, oh, my God, she lost all this weight. She had to. She had the injury 3 years ago. She's out for almost a year, comes back. She was sloppy, not just from ring rust, just because she's carrying all the weight. Now she's dropped a pretty good amount of pounds. I'd be curious to know how much she dropped. I don't want to, overestimate. I mean, it looks like 40 pounds really to me she's dropped, but maybe it's only 20. But whatever it is, it works because she's moving much better. And I'll bet you she'll tell you the same thing. And she's looking better in the ring now. Something you can't say about Jade Cargill. She was looking good for like 2 matches, and then it's all gone now. She needs to go to Hollywood and just be in like a superhero movie. Her wrestling, we tried. I mean, I gave you the AEW pass because and they actually, I'll tell you what, they actually did a better job with Jade than the WWE did. They were smart enough not to let her wrestle, just hold the belt. Kev, I'll be honest with you. Nowadays, and that's, again, one of the reasons why I really don't do anything anymore with the 2K stuff. I don't even think I could do anything with it. I mean, I'll tell you what I would do is I would, at the risk of sounding like a Vince Russo, I'd be cutting probably 50% of the staff. Close to it. If you're over 40, you're probably gone, with a handful of exceptions. And then what I would do is I would go out. When I say new writing staff, I don't mean just going back out there and doing the auditions and what soap opera have you written on? No. I'm talking about people on YouTube like Murphs that do these incredible stories. And I think to myself, if I was in a room as a writer, along with a guy like Murphs and some of these other guys that we all watch, right, that create their own storylines, and we were allowed to, back and forth with one another and with this and that, and the other thing I would do, have the talent in the room. Not all at the same time, but during the week. We have different days where, this group of people is going to come in and almost like job interviews, from 12 to 2, it'll be this group of people. And you guys come to us. Who do you want to wrestle with? What storyline do you guys have in mind? And then we could, because if they buy into it, it's going to be better automatically. So you got them saying, oh, I want to work with this one. Okay, how do we make that work? And then you got the Murphs and the Me's and whoever else is in the room with them sitting there, all cycling around until something settles in. And I guarantee you within an hour, we're going to have something pretty good. So these 2 people are good. All right, off with you. Next 2 come in. Maybe it's tag teams. These 2 tag teams come in. Because they might know stuff about each other. Say, oh, we could use this. And I didn't even know that shit about you. That's perfect. Yes, let's use it. But it's like the writer's room is off limits to the talent. Why? It makes no sense. Because the product you're putting out sucks. Again, I don't watch AEW, so Ken, maybe Swerve's doing all right. I don't see anything showing up on the Twitter feeds, showing me Swerve doing anything great, but Smooth. No, I get it. Obviously it's pro wrestling. We get that. And your real life credentials don't mean as much. Well, therein lies the problem. Back in the day, it did mean that much. Bob Backlund held the title for 6 years because it meant that much. So whose fault is it that it doesn't mean that much? Because it should. Because when you're bringing in Brock Lesnar and you bring him back after he became the UFC heavyweight champion, and now he is legitimate Brock Lesnar. He was legitimate before, just off his collegiate, but now he's gone to the UFC and he's become the champion and blah, 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 blah. Now he's back. That's as legit as you're going to get. And they booked him that way, as you should. Kurt Angle, you booked him that way, as you should. Because who's really going to beat these two guys? None of them. They might beat each other. But other than that, there wasn't nobody going to beat them. And I'll tell you right now, you tell me which person in the WWE women's locker room, from Evolve all the way to SmackDown and Raw, which one is going to beat Kendall Gray in a real match? Nobody. Nobody has her credentials. I don't see it. I don't. They did have that girl who's already gone. She did the Evolve thing. She was on LFG. She was the gold medal winner as well. I can't even remember her name right now. That's how quick a flash in the pan she was. Went to Evolve and then left. I don't know if she ended up pregnant or something or what. It was a very sudden departure. But she wasn't getting over either. She was like way over the top of her character and it just wasn't resonating. And I can't remember her name either. I got only so many brain cells left, and I can't tie it up with people that only lasted about a cup of coffee, man. Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah. Dookie, I'm doing good, brother. How you doing? I think becoming a world champion and productive main eventer was good for Swerve. He was their world champion? I didn't even know. Didn't even know. Well, all right. Was it better than what the WWE saw in him? Let's put it this way. You putting a belt on someone. When I was watching AEW last, there was a guy named CM Punk on their roster at that time. Their weekly shows were in basketball arenas, and they were selling anywhere from 12,000 to 18,000 seats each week. Today, you can hear people's private conversations. They're running neck and neck, I think, at this point with TNA in attendance. They might be a little bit above them, but not by much. So Swerve didn't really bring the numbers in, did he? You can put the belt on anybody you want. And it's the same thing I've been saying about TNA, and I won't stop saying it, although now it's going to get to the point where another couple of years it won't matter anymore. Now you waited. You blew his best years. Moose is your fucking world champion. You have nobody better. Nobody better to carry that title than Moose in that locker room. It's pathetic. Unless he doesn't want it for some reason, which I can't fathom, but all right. But that will literally be the only way to justify it. Well, Smooth again. You want to talk about fit? Take a look at that girl. You ain't going to find any body fat on her. She's amazing condition. And she is still a top athlete. WWE shows it doesn't matter because Cross hits on all cylinders. I'll agree with that, including having legit credentials. This guy breaks bats with his body. Yeah. Cross is not the guy you ever want to get into a skirmish with, I'll tell you that right now. And what I love about that guy is, yes, he can do all those things. And he knows he can do all those things. And he is the most soft-spoken guy in real life. Like, if you meet him, he's just cool as the other side of the pillow. you would look at this guy and think this big monster, oh God, don't piss him off. Man, I'll tell you what, super chill dude. Well, and again, this comes back to what's wrong with WWE. They are going to write what they say you're supposed to like. They don't give a shit that you're telling them, no, we don't want this. Yes, you do. And you're going to eat it. And it's like the old days. You're not getting up from this table till you finish your dinner. I don't like this. Did I ask you what you like? Shut up and eat your food. And that's exactly what's happening here. Cross is legitimately overqualified. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. But he's got to be overqualified somewhere. Might as well be an MLW. And to their credit, I just got done watching Dark Side of the Ring earlier. First episode for the new season with... they're doing 3 parts on TNA. And Jarrett, in this first episode, was showing about the whole... from the $9 pay-per-views on a weekly basis to bringing in the Carters for their financial, and without that influx of money, the company would be dead and gone. We wouldn't even be talking about it. But they were able at the point when if they would not have signed Kurt Angle when they did, then they probably wouldn't have made it. So sometimes you can get that overqualified person just in the nick of time and do something with it. Now, hopefully for MLW, they can do that with Cross. Or Cross can do that with them, however you want to look at it. But, yeah, I agree. He's a heck of a hand to have. He's a legitimate champion. That's what you have to have. Any wrestling promotion, if your champion is not believable in the role, your show's going to go. You don't go there to see the undercard. You go there for the main event. And hopefully there's some people on the undercard that you also like as well. But I have never dropped $100 on a wrestling event because I can't wait to see this tag team match. I might want to see the tag team match, but I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson against the Midnight Express, even though it's going to be amazing. I am paying for Ric Flair and Lex Luger or Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. That's what I'm paying for. And I love Nick Nemeth. I really do. But at this point in time, between size and age, that's the double banger. If he was in his late 20s again, if he, after the Spirit Squad days, he's still got plenty of life left in him. I say go for it because he can talk on that mic like nobody's business. He's really good on the mic. His in-ring work, yeah, he is older, but doesn't really show it. I mean, he's still putting on really good matches. They have to get the booking thing under control. They just have to do something with that. AEW pay-per-views are sold out at NBA arenas. Well, I haven't watched any of their pay-per-views, so I can't say anything about that. Auto-corrected. I'd have to actually look online and just see what their attendance was. And they're not a publicly traded company, so therefore those numbers probably aren't even legitimately out there to begin with. Tony Khan's always going to inflate the numbers. So unless you're there live and in person, there's no knowing for sure. What we got going on here? I love Saul, but I agree with all the mishaps not being okay. I don't like her new theme either. I don't think I've seen her entrance in quite a while. I've just seen some of her matches. Why did no one criticize Spanish ass cheeks? Botchmaster. Look, again, everyone botches. That's just the reality, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many years in there. They're using that as the big excuse for why LA Knight got delisted, removed from any meaningful storylines for months now because he kept botching. He did have a couple of big matches and a couple of big whoopses. You know, he had the double spring attempt, like where he hops up to the middle rope and then hops up to the top rope and his foot slipped out. But he recovered real quickly and still went and did his thing. If it's one of their favorites, it's not ballet. It's part of the thing, man. We just know that, you know, he recovered well, did a good job, got back on the horse. We're fine. But if it's a guy they're looking to get off the headline act, and this is my point. Like, the window on him is closed. You've blown that opportunity. The fans are no longer, you know, as much as they like him and they wanted him to be that guy, you guys have ruined it. The writing team is absolutely pissed all over this poor guy. He's one that would do well in AEW. Can you imagine him and MJF on the mic? Oh, I might have to tune in. I have recommended nobody go to AEW unless it's for the money. In Eli Drake's case, because that's what he would be, I'd say go to AEW because you're going to get the money. And just that first promo alone, oh, I want to hear it. I want to hear all about the company I just left behind. G-string. Again, the style of wrestling they do, especially when you talk about lucha libre stuff, it lends itself to more whoopsies. It's how do you correct from it, and are you hurting people? That's what it really comes down to. If you're just botching like LA Knight did, nobody got hurt. It looked stupid. Whoops. As opposed to Cargill and Nia Jax that keep hurting people. There's the difference. Messing up is not reckless. When Sol Ruka misses the Soul Snatcher, she looks stupid. But that's all right. Nobody got hurt. And just the fact that they let her come off that fucking balcony in NXT on her way out the door. I'll never get over that. Never. You know what? LA Knight did go through a little bit of a period where things were slipping. Why do you think that might be? Could it be because your confidence has been shaken by the people who are supposed to be building you up? I say, yeah. He was second-guessing everything in the ring because he was getting all that shit. Remember what they showed, and I believe every minute of that, what they showed on Unreal, where they dressed him down in Gorilla after the match. And not only that, did it on camera, which kind of broke the aura that he was building as another Stone Cold type personality. And here he is being laid into by Triple H and anybody else that was back there at the time. And he's just kind of sitting there sheepishly, as opposed to Austin, who said, hey, you don't like what I got to say, go fuck yourself. Okay, he wasn't doing that. And that's all on camera, so you've kind of crushed his character a bit. So I honestly blame upper management for a lot of that. You're supposed to be building this guy up. The fans were all in on him, and you would not give him the chance. Now, I don't know if he pissed in somebody's Cheerios and got caught. I don't know what, but I don't think that's it. I think they just get mad when we don't love who they tell us we're supposed to love. And then we offer them, no, try this guy. Well, fuck no. I didn't want this guy. I want this guy, damn it. You're going to eat the dinner and you're going to stay at the table until it's done. Yeah, there should be no scripts. There should never be scripts in wrestling. Bullet points are fine, but that's it. If you're going to script it, nah. It's got to be them saying it. It's got to be their words. Just tell me what message I need to get over. And realistically, I should already know that anyway. I know what feud I'm in. I got this. If you're a professional wrestler in the WWE, I did not see him botching for 2 years, so I'm not saying, he, again, when I say botching, look, everyone's going to slip and fall. That's not botching to me. To me, botch is something major where somebody could have been injured or it was so egregious that, oh my God, that was like one of those phantom punches where the person thought you were going to be closer and you were a foot away, and then you take a back bump and there was like that much air between your fist and their face. And then they try to rectify it the next time by actually punching them in the mouth. That'll fix them. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me here on the chat. We're going to take a break. We'll be back at 5 o'clock p.m., and we will be doing the premiere for the reimagined Invasions End video. I think you'll like it. If you like the original, that's the original video that started this whole channel off. And because the quality is so old from 2004, and like I said earlier, VHS, I needed it to come back home to something better than that. I couldn't have that be my lasting impression, right? It was rough. It was really, really rough. So I'll hopefully see you guys back here at 5 o'clock. That is the plan. That's what I'm going with. And for the rest of you, remember, whatever you do,
Bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye-bye.